Dr. Wood. Today I'm going to talk about functional relationships and dysfunctional relationships. So functional, relationships that work, relationships that bring people together, relationships that people can love and be loved. We all want to love and be loved. To do that, we need relational skills. We have to have a perspective, an understanding, a way of thinking, and a way of seeing and hearing what is occurring. Okay, so first, let's just talk about something simplistic. So there's you, like planet Earth, and then there's over here another planet or person. Both planets, people, but different. This is Mars, this is Earth, different. Okay, so in a relationship, the first thing is, well, who are you? Well, I'm Earth. Well, what's that? Oh, I don't know. Well, if you don't know who you are, how can you share in space with me who you are? See, in between you and another person, in between Earth and Mars, is space. And I can tell you what needs to be in this space. Nothing except love, compassion, and consideration. So if you, or let's suppose me, has a story about this other person who I don't know, I am not letting them share who they are. I'm telling you who you are. Well, you're being disrespectful. You're not letting me share myself. You're trying to control me. That's because you, if this is me, let's suppose it's me doing this, that means I'm insecure. Why am I insecure? I don't know who I am. I don't have the ability to listen to another. I'm not even listening to myself. Maybe I don't value myself. You know, if you don't value yourself, how can you value someone else? How can you share something you don't have? You know, what's going on in your world right now? Maybe you're at war in your world and you're trying to bring that war into my world. So give me an example. I was recently, it's the holiday season. I was out and about, and I'm there, and I'm being with my family, and there were some other people there, not mentioning any names, and I'm there, I'm just sharing, laughing, cutting up, joking around, having a good time. You know, there's just being myself, having a good time, and this other party's there, they want to participate. So some reason, who I am, my light into this world, they're offended by me being me. They think I'm stealing their thunder. Like I'm putting out their light. So what this person did was, so they act all churchy. I go to church all the time. I give all my money to God. Like what you can do, buy them? Like was God for sale? You could buy love. You could buy your way into heaven. That's not the way it works. It's called prostitution. If you want to go buy love, it's on the street, man. That's not the way a healthy relationship works. I know there's a lot of relationships out there that look something like that. You know, the way you are in a relationship, you just buy the other person. Call it what you want. I call it prostitution. No, this relationship, a real healthy, functional relationship is one is I value you. I respect you. Let me give you the dignity and honor to, I'm going to grant you my listening for you to express yourself, and I'm willing to listen. Okay, but I can only listen to you if you have something to share. You know, if you don't value yourself, and I value myself, you're going to try to cut me down? I don't think so. I'm going to call you out on it. I'm not going to let you devalue me because I love myself. Not in an unhealthy way, but I respect myself. You're not allowed to come in here and start tearing up. If I beautified my house and I've cleaned up my backyard, you're not going to come in here and tear my shit down to make it look like a shithole like your house. I'll call you out. Pull your card. You're being a shithead. You're being disingenuous in this relationship. You're pretending you're this loving, caring person. The truth in the matter is you're using passive-aggressive behaviors. Passive-aggressive. So you pretend that you're wonderful. And then you're doing subversive attacks on my personhood and try to cut me down and manipulate to cut me out of the conversation. So it all becomes about you because you need a lot of attention today. I got it. So when the person doesn't feel significant, and here's the problem. Here's the problem this person's running into. If you look at her life, none of her kids want to be around her. None of her spouses, none of her friends want to be. Why not? Because this is the only way she knows that she doesn't value herself. She hasn't created a life for herself. She never discovered who she is, so she has nothing to share. She's not creating a life, and she blames everybody else for the problems in her life. She's blaming me that I'm stealing her love and the chance to be loved and whatever, because there's others, family members there, that she feels I'm stealing her light, her love. The truth is she doesn't love herself. That's not my problem. I love me. I care about myself. I'm gonna make my needs known. Now, if I need to, if this person can't get their shit together, I'm willing to walk away from the situation rather than make a big argument. But I'm gonna say something before I leave. I'm gonna express myself. You're not gonna run over me. And I don't say that out of being mean. It's like, it's a healthy confrontation. Call it holding someone accountable for poor behaviors. Everyone else typically in the family doesn't say anything. So instead of confronting this person, which would be a loving thing to do, no one says anything and they just don't call her. So now she's more alone, more isolated. She wants to love and be loved, but the consequences to her behavior is this. She's isolated. No one wants to be in the relationship game with her because she's telling you who you are. Blah, blah, blah. That's control. Okay? You're trying to control someone else's world so you feel safe in yours. The problem is you don't feel safe in your own world, and you got a war going on inside your head that's not being dealt with. You don't value yourself. You don't think highly of yourself. And supposedly, rather than look in the mirror at your own bullshit, it's easier to blame everybody else for your freaking problems. And this guy, me, I'm not going to let you shove your shit in my backyard. I'm going to hold you accountable for that. And I'm going to put the shit right back in your own yard. Not because I don't love you, because I do. My compassion is this. Wouldn't it be nice to have meaningful relationships? And in the relationship game, I'm pulling the card that you're being a fake person, that you're being passive aggressive in this relationship game. You're more miserable than ever before. Here's the consequence. If no one says anything, your own family won't even say anything to you. I at least had enough guts to look you in the eye and call you on it. And I've done that with a bunch of people. Like, look, you're being disingenuous. You're being passive aggressive. There's nothing wrong with my world. If I'm being an asshole, I'll take responsibility for that. I have no problem. I'm a grown up. I love myself. I want to be at my best self. Now, I'm going to call you out that the reason why you're miserable, the reason why you're in hell is because you're suffering. Okay? So I'm going to use a biblical story. So there was Cain and Abel. Two different people. One brought meat. He's from Mars. And Cain brought wheat. Okay? So God accepted, Abel's offer and rejected Cain's, in love. So everybody wanted love, God's love. And God's, I'll accept Abel's offer. I'm rejecting yours, Cain. So Cain was pissed off that he was rejected. So God said, I'm going to call you out on your attitude, man. I said, here's the problem with, it's not that I don't love you. It's that you came to the relationship game with me and you didn't give me your best self. Like, I'm God, I'm going to give you my best. And I got a lot to give. And you're only going to give me 10% of your best self. I mean, if your best self that you are today is not that great, it's still your best self. But when you're holding back sharing yourself with me. You're not sharing your feelings. You're not sharing your emotions. You're not sharing who you are and where you are in the world. And you're playing passive aggressive and not really talking to me. I don't want to be in a relationship with you because you're not being genuine. You're not being real. You're not being authentic with who you are. If you're a shithead, I got problems. I got a lot of problems, and I'm kind of an asshole. Oh, I can accept that. I know who you are. But if you're pretending to have your shit together, and you really don't, you're confusing me. And I'm going to reject you in this relationship game, because how can I love with all my heart a fake person? It's like trying to love a blow-up doll, man. It doesn't work. Oh yeah, I'm really this person over here. But you're not sharing. You're holding on. You're not expressing yourself. If you got issues, if you share them, someone can love you. Someone can take care of you. Someone can relate to you. Someone could be with you. Then they could be in the problem with you and love you and care about you there. But the fear of sharing, the fear of being vulnerable, you want to be vulnerable with the right person, not with everybody. Not everybody's safe. Someone who's responsible, who loves themselves, who cares about themselves, and has a track record of caring for other people. You might want to share yourself with that person. Not every person's parent are great people to share with, and I'm sorry that happened. But there are a lot of other people out there who are loving, who want to love you, who want to care for you, who would love to be in a relationship with you. But if you're afraid to, share your feelings, share your emotions, share your hurt, share your pain with others, then, what am I going to relate to? A fake story, this blow-up doll that you're giving me? So you're out of relationship. So what happened next with Cain and Abel was, Cain got jealous. He looked at his brother has love, has a loving relationship. He's got the goods. I don't. I got turned down. We got turned down because you're being a fake person. You weren't being true and authentic you weren't sharing yourself. How can I love you if you don't share yourself? There's nothing to love. Who am I loving here? Your story or you? I want to love you, the real person who's got issues and flaws. I can at least love that person. Don't be all passive aggressive. So Cain got jealous that his brother had love, has got something going on, is growing and creating a better life for himself, and is being true. So his brother looked at himself and looked what his brother had and became envious. Rather than looking at himself, say, what is the mistake I made in this relationship game, which is I wasn't sharing myself, I wasn't being true, I wasn't, giving my best self. I gave an artificial self. Fake person. Instead, he went and slandered his brother. Oh, he's no good, passive-aggressive behavior. Slander, jealousy goes to slander. You're going to slander or murder the other person's character, their soul and heart, when they are playing the relationship game of love and doing the right thing. So since you don't want to play and participate in the game openly and honestly, you're going to be passive-aggressive and envious and jealous because you don't love yourself. You're not being honest with yourself. You're not being true unto yourself. Then you're not going to be true unto anybody else. Who wants someone who's a liar in a relationship? Like you're a liar, you're a cheater, you're a thief, you steal from yourself, you steal from others, you rob yourself, you rob me. Like, I want to be in a relationship with you, man. Would you like to share? Here, I got a pen. My daddy gave it to me. It's mine, but I'm willing to share it with you. And now we both can play with the pen. If you have gifts, like you can sing, you could play the piano, maybe it's artistry, can you share it with me? Or are you going to hold it back and not reveal that you have this inner beauty? You're not valuing yourself. And that's where I'd hold it accountable to all the bullshit that just went on, passive-aggressive behavior, that you're not sharing. So if you don't share, I can't love you. It's not my problem at this point. It's like you're not willing to be vulnerable and allow someone to love you, and that's why you don't feel loved, or you can't love. You're afraid to express and share yourself. This is Dr. Wood about passive-aggressive behavior, playing the relationship game, trying to understand it, and we all want to love and be loved. There's a price. It's sharing yourself and being vulnerable. And you want to share yourself with someone else who's responsible and who loves and cares about themselves. They'll teach you how to play the game. Dr. Wood, have a great day.